What is the difference between the National Register and National Historic Landmarks? Have you ever wondered what sets apart the National Register of Historic Places from National Historic Landmarks? Understanding this distinction is essential for anyone interested in history, preservation, or cultural resource management. Both programs are overseen by the National Park Service and play vital roles in preserving historical sites across the United States. The National Register of Historic Places is the official list of historic properties in the country that are considered worthy of preservation. This extensive list includes over 90,000 properties, such as buildings, sites, structures, and objects that hold historical significance at local, state, or national levels. To be included, these properties must possess historic integrity, meaning they have maintained their original character and reflected their historical context. On the other hand, National Historic Landmarks are a smaller subset of the National Register. There are about 2,500 National Historic Landmarks recognized for their exceptional national historical significance. These landmarks are selected for their outstanding contributions to the history of the United States as a whole, rather than just local or regional importance. One key difference lies in the scope of significance. While the National Register includes properties significant at local, state, or national levels, National Historic Landmarks are exclusively those that hold national significance. This distinction is important for cultural resource management, as it helps prioritize preservation efforts. Another difference is the number of listings. The National Register boasts over 90,000 listings, while the National Historic Landmarks are limited to around 2,500. This makes the National Historic Landmarks quite special, as they representing the most significant historical properties in the nation. Additionally, all National Historic Landmarks are automatically listed on the National Register of Historic Places. However, not all properties on the National Register are designated as National Historic Landmarks. This means that while a property may be recognized for its historical importance, it may not reach the level of national significance required for the landmark designation. When it comes to ownership and protection, listing a property on either the National Register or as a National Historic Landmark does not change its ownership. However, being listed can influence how properties are managed and protected. This often leads to increased preservation efforts, which is a positive outcome for historical sites. In applied anthropology, understanding these differences is vital for managing cultural resources effectively. When conducting cultural assessments or managing historical sites, knowing whether a site is listed on the National Register or is a National Historic Landmark can impact how preservation efforts are prioritized and implemented. For example, a site with national significance might receive more resources for preservation compared to one with local significance. Moreover, anthropologists can use these designations to inform community engagement and education about historical sites. By highlighting the national importance of certain landmarks, communities can better appreciate and protect their cultural heritage. This not only aids in preserving historical sites but also supports the broader cultural and historical narrative of the United States.